All right. There we go. It's kind of weird. Okay, I have the display on, so it should actually work. There we go. It's kind of there. Might play two, might play one game. We'll see. So yeah, cross map, which is a little bit not really the majority of my games. I think most people prefer one. I figured he'd probably do that. Honestly, probably not the best move for me to make. I actually think he would be better at coming over the top here than doing this. That move is incredibly useful. Move is incredibly useful in so many circumstances. Can't do that. I think I'll just keep jumping up. Now I can just take the bottom territory. That's generally a bad move. I'm just going to keep crawling and taking the territory. I really don't feel that threatened. Well, I'm just going to take the bottom territory, I guess. I mean, I've already gotten this side, so I feel just fine, and I'm actually going to do this now. Of course, I'm going to connect this side. I feel like you see, like he's not really getting all that much for his thickness that he's actually building. I've managed to accumulate a lot of territory here, and he hasn't really managed to accumulate that much at all. Yeah. Realistically, I've managed to accumulate a ton of territory, and he hasn't really managed to accumulate anything at all. And that's why I think I have a big advantage over him. And this is perfectly fine. I am perfectly willing to... I'm very much willing to do this. I don't mind if he lives. I get this as a Sente, first of all. And now I can do this. I'm actually not sure how to play this. That's the problem. Oh, crap. I think I just messed this up. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I just messed this up. I totally messed this up. Yeah, this is not good for me. I 100% screwed this up. Oh, okay, that actually turned out okay for me. Because he didn't actually play that right. But that was not my intended move. Definitely not my intended move. Jeez, this actually is troublesome. Have to do that. Very, very troublesome. Okay, that doesn't make any sense because that doesn't do anything for you. Like, I can just do this and you're still like screwed. So that doesn't do anything for you. So like you can't disconnect here. You're trying to make you're trying to actually like make yourself live in here. Particular um, giving me that particular move basically means you're dead. So that's definitely not a good move on his part. I mean, this doesn't matter because I'm already alive. And this is basically dead in here. I think it's pretty much dead anyways. Is it? Or it may not be. I think I have to do this. Yeah, that makes you completely dead. There's no way you don't have a Sentai. You don't have a Sente eye, and giving the Gote eye just doesn't do you anything. The thing is, black has this territory because I messed up over here. But even without this being dead, I have more territory because this here is deadly. And there's not much I already have this territory here. This is going to be my territory anyways, and I already have this corner. So white generally already has more territory regardless.
You have won.
So that's basically, see, like, even if I didn't have this, I would still be up by several points. So I definitely screwed up in that corner over there, but we'll actually review this game. So this particular game, please hit the likes, guys. That would help me a lot. That's fine. I mean, corner invasion is pretty fine. I'm going to do that. This is basic Joseki. He actually played this right. I think usually you would do this, and I would do something like this. In this case, I might do something like this, but then this invasion here is kind of troublesome. So I probably might do something like this, and that's kind of like an even Joseki there. I don't really know if this is like the best move. It's okay. It's actually okay because it gains you influence. It doesn't cost you too many points. I'm going to try to break this side. That's fine. I'm going to do that. I wouldn't do that. I would actually come over this way. Because realistically, building up this wall, you're not building up this wall to get like 10 points down here. You're building up this wall to build up this influence. So you can if you build this wall, you're building up this wall to build up this influence. So later on, you can actually make territory up here. That's kind of like the way, that's sort of the way you play this particular wall. You're not really trying to build up the 10 points down here anyways, because like the thing is, like, even if you get the points down here, oops, sorry, even if you actually get the points down here, it doesn't really matter. I mean, like, this is still not secure and you don't have too many points down here. So I mean, like, I would definitely come over this way if I was black. Because worst be worst, I can always trade this stone for the corner, honestly. So I'm really not that afraid of, like, him, like, living down here. If he, like, lives down here enough, I can just take the corner. So there's always, you have to keep that, like, you can't do the corner right now because it would weaken these two stones, but once you've built this influence on top, you can just kind of, you can sacrifice this stone for, like, corner territory. So that's perfectly fine. Doing that, I'm going to jump up. He's going to do that. Like, doing this I don't like because it kind of, like, sacrifices, like, any invasion you have on the corner. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Remember, like, this move is generally better than this move or this move. So I'm going to just play this move. I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to jump back up. That's okay. I'm going to go ahead and take the territory down here. Maybe not the best move. I probably should have just came over and destroyed this influence, but still. He does that, which is not a good move because I can still come over here. So I'm going to do that first, obviously. He does that, which is generally a bad move, gives me free territory. This you absolutely need to Hane. You do this. I'm just going to do this. This you obviously need to Hane. Do this, and then I'm just going to fly down here. I've gained a couple points that way. See, you're building influence here, but you can't really do all that much of that influence. That's fine. Although I think this is a lot more important at this point. He does that. I'm going to come over this way just to get rid of this influence. This is obviously going to be a losing move, playing this out. And then at this point, this doesn't work because you don't really have, like, this isn't really threatening anymore. Does that. Here, you probably want to double Hane. I would have to do this. You do not want to, you don't want to extend and let me extend. So obviously, like, at this point, I've gained a lot because think about, like, what this influence did. It got him, like, the 6 points here, and I got a lot more than this on the bottom, and I got a lot more worthy influence over here because now I'm looking at this Moyo. So he attacks here. So the thing is, my thing is, like, I want to secure the top, but if I do that, he gets too much at the bottom. So I'm going to force over here first, and then play this peep move, and see what he does. He connects, so I basically can get this influence on top. I'm willing to let him get a couple points down here, because, like, I'm really not going to be able to kill this. Like, if he invades here, you're probably not going to be able to kill his invasion. And trying to kill his invasion will let him jump up here and do all kinds of bad stuff here. So it's much better. It's actually much better to peep on him and basically just go cover over the top. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done this. I probably should have just done this. So that's fine. That's also a bad move. You should always do this first and then do this. That's how this is supposed to be played. You should probably do something like that. Because remember, first of all, that Atari is going to be Sente. So you can take that anytime, and that reduces my influence here by a whole lot. So essentially, like, letting me get this and then come down here. Because, like, if you just connect, I am going to just, like, connect this. And then you basically have to live here, which means, like, I get the Sente again. I'm not going to bother answering that. I'm going to do something like this. And that would favor white by so much now. So letting me get this Sente means, like, I get to capture these stones now. And that puts me way ahead because this is a decent amount of points. You get stuff over here, but this trade is definitely worth it for me. And with this trade, like, if you do this now, I'm probably just going to do this. And then I can basically cut if you do that, because if you do this, then, you know, like, this doesn't work anymore because I have this. And now your 3 stones are kind of stuck. So that doesn't actually work anymore, so I kind of solved that problem. Doing this, I'm just going to go ahead and do this and see how he answers. I'm pretty sure I played this wrong. But it came out actually okay for me. it actually did come out. So before you do this, you absolutely have to do that before you do this, because now I've got kind of a problem here. This ladder, since this ladder doesn't actually work for me, I can't just ladder out. I can't just ladder out this way. So I would actually have to go this way, and then you can just do this. I could come up, which is somewhat problematic for you, sure. But I feel like having this stone here, I do feel like having this stone here is just simply better for black, because it doesn't let white like comfortably. It does not let white comfortably like just connect. So he didn't do that. I got down here, I connected here. That's not really worth all that much. I honestly should have just ignored that. I definitely should have just ignored that. But I came up here, he went this, and then I'm just gonna come here. Now, that was probably not the right move. I don't know if this is actually alive. I think that's actually dead. That's the other problem. I think this is actually dead if I do this, because he has to guard against here, and I guess he could do this. But then I can do this, and essentially you have a ko. You essentially have a ko right here. And that's very bad. That's very bad for him, obviously, because the ko is very, very light for me and very heavy for him. So there's like a co-live thing in there, and I definitely should have just played this first. I should have played that first. But I actually wanted to solidify this territory here on this upper influence. So like even with all the points here, like I'm ahead by about 39 points when he actually does that. For this, I don't really know what you should do for this. I feel like this is okay because, well, I can't kill you, so I would probably just go here. You either go here or you fix this problem right away. You could go, yeah, either here or here right away. Connect this. I'm going to be able to jump this over here. This is fine. I'm going to just connect. And then doing this, he definitely made a lot of mistakes here. This, I think you would have to just come out, because I really can't disconnect you anyways. So that doesn't actually work. I basically have to do that. That's a big mistake, letting me Atari, because now you're cut off. That's a huge, huge mistake. This cut doesn't matter. You have to do something out here to actually like make this group alive or something like that. And then I would just go ahead and play the ko for this group, and then try to kill this group while using this ko. So it's a really bad it's a bad situation for black. It's just a really bad situation for black overall, honestly. So like, yeah, this was a major mistake here. Like when I do this, you should do this, because then you're kind of connected. I can't really do anything. And then I would actually have to somehow find two eyes, which honestly is not hard for me. I can easily live down here, because if you try to do this, I'm just going to, well, I guess like that doesn't work, but there's a lot of problems down here now for black. Or like, you know, or I can just basically do this and live. So, you know, like there's plenty of ways for me to live down here. So you're probably not going to be able to kill me down there. But the thing is, like, this is a big mistake, because now you're cut off. And that's a big mistake, because doing this basically means you're dead. That obviously, like, you could try to fight me on liberties, but you're not going to win against liberties on me. So this is not going to work, because I already have a real eye there. And this is basically dead. If I go, like, if I just do like this, you do have the option to try to do like this, but this is still kind of dead, so it doesn't really work here. So like basically after I fly this move, even if I don't fly this move, black would have a really hard time living. But after I fly this move, black is like entirely dead here. So, and that's basically game, because this is still dead. So like this game actually, like this game was a lot of like shapes. I don't like, you know, when you're building influence, you have to remember what you're building influence for. You can't just like blindly build influence. If you blindly build influence, you're probably not going to win, because like this influence build here doesn't mean anything. And even though he built the influence here, he didn't really use it right. Like if you build influence, you have to plan on using it. You have to know how to exactly use it. So building influence without actually knowing how to use it, very, very bad idea. So I think that's all I'm going to do for today. I am a little bit tired today. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Hit that bell notifications button.